How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to what I think is a very important video for something that is happening in the game. And that is the rates of very popular heroes, very fun, good heroes are getting nerfed. So they are being made more rare by the game. And we have that information directly from the game file. So I'm not going to do some big intro. I'm just going to say this is something you are going to want to hear about, and I think something that's really important and something that potentially we make a big fuss about because it's trending in a kind of scary way. If you're interested in this game we love succeeding and having a healthy trajectory and growing to the heights that I know I envision for it, and I hope you do too. So without further ado, let's talk about the rates. Let's talk about the nerfs to Boreas, Khamet, and Silas. Let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Alrighty, friends, so 3 weeks ago I put out a video called Legendary Hero Rates plus Ancient Gear Drop Rates Revealed. What a beautiful, elegant title. But basically I revealed, Seamus and I did our Legendary Drop Rate study, we finished it, then we partnered with T, who's got a lot of information directly from the game, and we released the information, the drop rates on all the legendary heroes in the game. I will have that link in the description and top pin comment if you want to check that out. But I do think many of you already saw it. We've got like just over 9,000 views, so thank you so much. However, things have changed. And things are about to change more and more and more. We have access to data directly from the game now. Thank you to T, so big shout out to him and the incredible work he's doing to help us, to help the community and all that amazing stuff. And more changes are coming, and they're basically straight up nerfs to the rates of some key heroes in the game. And when I say nerfs, I mean the chances to get them are reducing. So all the numbers we're going to discuss in this video pertain to your chance to get a specific legendary hero once you already have rolled the RNG to get a legendary to begin with. So this is like whether it's a 10x or a 2x or whatever, you've summoned a legendary. Now what are the chances that that legendary is going to be this hero or this hero or this hero or so on and so on and so on. So big thank you as well to Seamus. As always, we made this sheet together, and by together I mean he laid it all out in a beautiful way, and then I gave him notes on spacing and colors. So Seamus, you are truly not just a spreadsheet demon, but a spreadsheet wizard. So thank you, my friend. Guys, I'll also have the link to Seamus's channel in the description and top pin comment. Huge shout out to him. But as you can see, we have last week's banner, we have the current 1+1, the buy one, get one, the Pogo, pull one, get one, the extra legendary event, and we have an upcoming 1+1 that I'm not going to say when that is, but coming up within the next couple weeks, and we can compare the rates on that. And basically some strange things are happening. So what we're looking at here during the current 1+1 these are the normal rates. These are the rates featured in the video I just discussed, the legendary hero drop rates revealed. Nothing's really changed. These are the rates. So I have it color coded here. We're calling it the bucket key because these all fall into different rarity buckets where rates are shared. So for example, if we look at our rare legendary bucket, this is Arrogance through Zealatude over here. They all fall into the bucket where if you're pulling a legendary, there's a 1.125% chance of getting them, right? You'll see here when we have stuff like this, it's 11.250%. That is a summation of everybody from that bucket. So that's something Seamus and I put together. So also I thought it'd be fun to call it Bucket because shout out to Mob Bucket, the mob father himself. And then we have some color coding within buckets, which I'll explain right now. So we'll just use the current 1+1 as an example. You can see all these pink and pinkish red ones. These are our Legendary Lords plus Ajax, or our Legendary Lord rate heroes. The reason Leia and Morgan are a darker hue is because, and this was the case with the Hex and Pharisee banner, and this was the case when we posted that video 3 weeks ago, and has been the case for as long as the game's been on global. Leia and Morgan are just rarer. They are 2/3 as common as Ajax and Venoma and Torador and so on and so on. So there you have it there. This is how they come in. So Leia and Morgan are at 0.455%. So you summon a legendary, that's your chance of getting them. With Ajax and crew, Ajax through Twin Fiend, it's 0.682%, and that is it for Lords. All in all, if you do a summation of all of that, the total, just about 5% chance that you have to get a Lord, which is just less than what it should be, actually. It's close to, however, as we add more and more legendaries to the pool, the rates of these legendary lords have been suppressed. That's just a fact. They do not actually exist in their own hero rarity bucket. It's not like you roll a chance to get a legendary, or when you roll rarity, so you pull a shard and you find out, am I getting an uncommon, a rare, an epic, or a legendary? There's not a fifth category that's legendary lord. So when you see it presented like that in the game, that's not correct. They are in the legendary bucket, they just have way lower rates. Then we have ultra rare Lego. This was formerly known as Hatsit tier or Hatsit bucket because Hatsit has a rate all of her own. However, as you're about to see, she's not the only member there, at least for the next 1+1. Hatsit comes in at 0.75% chance, so just barely more common than Twin Fiend and Co., and then a fair bit more common than Morgan and Leia. But what does this come out to? 0.068% more likely to get Hatsit than these 6. Then we have our typical buckets, the main buckets for getting legendaries. We have our rare legendary bucket and our common legendary bucket. Some very few names, but very popular names in the rare legendary bucket: Arrogance, Boreas, Constance, Eloin, Hex, Salazar, Cetrum, Valeria, Virna, and Silatu. It's important you remember those names when we talk about the next part of this, the next few columns. These come in at a 1.125% chance. And by the way, the Hatsit bucket, obviously the summation for that is 0.75%. If you add up this group, it's there's 10 of them, so it's an 11.25% chance. And then finally we have our common bucket. So there's two main things we need to talk about. There's the Hatsit bucket, the ultra rare bucket, and our common bucket, and how that relates to the rare bucket. And this is where you're going to see some colors changing and some things we need to talk about. So if we look here, we've got Abomination all the way through Zealous. And then there's some really spicy names in here that we loved to pull. There's some great names of heroes that are amazing that remain here, like Cerberus. We've got Broke here, Calypso. If you get more copies of her, she's really fun. Nocturne's an incredible hero, especially with Awakenings. But then we had Silas and we had Khamet, right? These, I think we could all agree, or at least the general consensus assuredly, would be the two best heroes that appear here. You can pause it. I can even put a link for this if people want. Just let me know in the comments. I'll have a link to this on my Discord. But these were the superstars of the common bucket, right? Silas, top 10 hero in the game. If you get Virna and you get that Virna bond, that partner bond, I think undoubtedly the single best hero in the game. So amazing. Coming in, you have basically over a 3% chance to get him if you're able to summon the legendary, and that's allowed a lot of people to get him. If he was in this bucket, he'd be almost 1/3 as common, right? It'd be 3 times harder to get him. Right now, it's 3 times easier, or it was, this current banner at least. Then with Khamet, as you can see here, it was the same thing. Khamet, probably not as OP as Silas, but certainly at least a top 10 hero in the game. At worst, the 3rd best mage in the game. I would certainly argue, we're not counting lords and stuff now, I'd probably argue he's the 2nd best mage in the game, and undoubtedly still a top 10 hero. Super hard carry. So really nice that he was a common legendary hero that you could pull nice and early. I pulled him on day 43. He was my first AoE mage that wasn't Osiren, and God, was he a god. He was amazing. He carried me. That was the biggest change I ever had to my account, was pulling Khamet. This is not going to remain. So you can see the summation there, 83%. You have an 83% chance to get one of these common bucket heroes. These things are changing though. So for the next 1+1, which as I said is coming up in the next few weeks, so something to keep in mind if you guys want to save for that and not the Lust banner and some other stuff we know is coming, things are changing. So for that one, Boreas is joining the Hatsit ultra rare legendary bucket. So this is the first enormous red flag that has me very concerned. We hear, or the game hears, the developers hear, Boreas is overpowered. They hear the word broken. Let's be honest, we're not going to say cushion. They hear the word nerf. So they respond not by nerfing him, but nerfing his rates. So they're like, you know what? He's so good, he needs to be ultra rare, just like Hatsit. And actually, on this banner, Hatsit and Boreas are going to come in rarer than those other normal 6 from the legendary Lord bucket, right? So you can see here, the rare Lord bucket remains the same with Leia and Morgan, but actually squeezing the rates remain the same here too, but squeezing right there in between Morgan and Ajax, we have Hatsit and Boreas. So you're actually more likely to pull Ajax, Aracha, King Hearts, Venoma, Torador, and Twin Fiend than Boreas and Hatsit. I'll even do a summation here for you guys, and you can see their total rate. But the math makes perfect sense. You have the same chance. You're twice as likely to get Arrogance as you are to get these guys. The added rate of these two together comes out as the rate to get a normal rare hero. So that's the first thing we need to talk about. I do not appreciate that response by the devs. They hear that he's really strong, maybe too strong, so instead of finding a way to balance the game or address it within his kit, not that I'm saying they should nerf him, but finding a way to make him more friendly in Arena or change the content, so it can be more fair or balanced. No, they just decided to make him super rare. So someone like me has a really high unfair advantage because during his banner, I pulled 3 copies of him. So I have A2 Boreas. I got him during his 10x when his rate was normal. He was a normal bucket rare like this, as you can see. Now he's twice as hard to get So that's not fair that I have this unfair advantage. I don't think that's cool. So that's the first big thing we have to talk about, and I don't appreciate it. The next thing, if you look at this group, Arrogance through Sela 2, you'll see two names highlighted, Khamet and Silas. Well, they have been promoted, if you will, to rare legendary status, but because of that, their rate has been completely depreciated. It's been slapped down to basically 1/3 what it was before. I don't love that at all. You'll see a couple of these numbers have changed, right? So actually, if we look at the chance of getting, let's look at Elwyn. Her chance has actually improved by 0.125%, and that is to make up for the fact that they have taken 2 out from here and brought them down here. They had to move the rates around somehow, and similarly, we pushed Boreas down. So you might look at this and you see before you had an 11.25% chance to get a rare bucket legendary. Now you have a 13.750% chance. That's so much better. I mean, well, first off, it's 2.5% better. However, it's actually only 0.125% per hero, and it's just being spread out over 2 more heroes. Moreover, you might see, oh, the chance to get a common bucket, which is going to be even less desirable now that Khamet and Silas left, has been reduced by 3%. That's better, right? I would definitely say no, it's not better at all. It's now you still have a 4 out of 5 chance to get a common bucket hero, and for most people, a lot of endgame players won't want any of them. I mean, for me, the only hero here that I truly would be excited about is Cerberus. Everyone else I'd be excited about is just because I need a dupe or something, or like randomly I happen to need Shamir for faction trials, right? So basically, you have an 80% chance for a lot of players to get disappointment, and I think this just shows. I was just talking, I had a long call with Slicks. I'll also put Slicks links. Let's just give a bunch of people shout outs. We'll put Slicks' links. That's hard to say. Slicks' links. Say that 10 times fast. I will put Slicks' links in the description and the top pin comment. But he was saying, yeah, like he's done a lot of thinking about like psychology and like maybe where the game's falling short, and I think it's a great shout by him. They're just setting people up for more and more disappointment, because it used to be if you hit that 83% and hit common bucket, well, at least 2 of those heroes, right? 2 of those heroes were Khamet and Silas, and they were total game changers, and one of those was Silas, who's like the best hero in the game. No, now the best you can hope for is like a Cerberus or a Nocturne, maybe a Sadie, maybe a Broke here. Good options, but for most people playing these hero collectors, you want not just shiny gold, you want the shiniest gold, and now it just became a lot harder to get them because the 2 best options you had from the normal pool are gone. I'm going to leave it there. I just wanted to share this, and what I will say is don't say, oh, well, these are just 2 banners. I do have access to the 3 other banners that are live in the game file right now, and in all of them, the Silas and Khamet nerf persists. What I will say is the Boreas one does not. He moves back for the 3 other normal 10Xs I know about that are coming. He goes back to this group. However, it seems Khamet and Silas, at least for everything we have in the game right now, permanently have been moved to the rare Lego bucket. Don't love it. Don't love it at all. Not one bit. And Boreas is TBD. I think even if they decide to keep him where he has been in the rare bucket, very strange that they say, well, we're doing a 1+1. He shouldn't be showing up that much. No, people shouldn't get the bonus of getting Cetrum and then maybe getting Boreas. Obviously, you still could get it. No, it needs to be really unlikely that you're going to hit him. So let's put him down in the ultra rare category with Hot Sit. I don't know. I think this is something we should make a fuss about. I will say people have been leaking a bunch of stuff. This is something for me. I've always been about this. It's about transparency. I've given the devs ample opportunity and spoke to them about at length. I don't really want to spoil banners, this, that, and the other. That's other people's choice. However, when it comes to rates and empowering you guys with complete information, that is something I feel extremely strongly about. So I don't feel bad about doing this at all. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like it, subscribe, share it with your mother. I've been Fastidious. I'll see you in the next one.
Fastidious.